The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. Well, a pleasant good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 4th. That is the 4th of July, 2023. We are the only show about Spartan Dawgs, hosted by Spartan Dawgs. This is Sparta MSU. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn. I played in the Perlis and Saban eras as a center team captain, and I couldn't do this without my two dogs in the fight, one of them being on the show today. One of them was on assignment, taking care of family business. This Jehuu Jehuu Caulcrick, who is here with us today, running back during the John L. Smith and the Antonio era, and holds the single season touchdown record for MSU. Choo, look, welcome to the party. It's the 4th of July. We want to welcome everybody who is their first time watching the show, and we thank everyone else. Choo, this is a big-time day. We're happy for everybody. Independence Day here in America. Talk to us a little bit, Choo.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy 4th to everybody. And we know you could be out, it's late right now. You could be grilling, doing whatever, but you're spending a little piece of your 4th with your This is Sparta MSU fam. And, we appreciate you guys for that. And let's have some fun.
Why not? Let's have a lot of fun. And do not forget to click that like and subscribe buttons there. Don't forget to do that. Helps us a whole lot. Doesn't cost you a thing. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms at This is Sparta MSU, wherever you see our social media follows and our podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Guys, look, we want to thank everybody today, Chew, for the viewer love that we've gotten. And, we started this show about 10 months ago. We're not even a full year in, and we've hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're continuing to grow. The watch time is beautiful, and we just love doing this. Like, let's talk about the people and thanking them.
Yeah, we have a lot of loyal viewers, a lot of people that's been with us from the very, beginning, from the start, from when we were filming on the iPhone and iHop all the way till now, and continue to grow. People are, spreading the word, pushing it out there on their social media feeds and everything. And, the biggest, we appreciate everybody, and we couldn't have gotten this far without that This is Sparta MSU fam. And it truly is straight a family. It's so fun to see every Tuesday and Thursdays, going through the comments, people coming in, people are, intertwined with others' lives now. They care about, what others are doing, their families and everything like that. And we come here together, we cheer together, we cry together, we bitch together, we laugh together, we do everything together. So, it's really cool that all the love and support that has been dawned on us from the This is Sparta MSU fam.
Without question. Just love that Spartan therapy that we get every Tuesday and Thursday night here together. We really do cherish it. We honor you today, especially on this Independence Day here for the United States. We just love what we bring. Everyone brings every week here to Spartan Nation, and This is Sparta MSU. We truly thank you. We're going to get to it.
Before you jump off from that, talking about, for this, the freedom and everything like that of fighting. I know there's, Tom Story, he's some military guy.
Yes.
Some other, viewers out there that, served in the military or family served in the military. And, we appreciate everybody, that was part of that. So, that we would be remiss if we didn't, show our appreciation for our viewers and families of viewers that are, currently and did serve in the military.
Absolutely. We truly thank you for your service. That is God's work. We would not be here without the sacrifice that so many men and women that are in the service that have given this country and continue to give every day. For a quick update for MSU, something we were not able to cover last week is we had a nice commitment. We had a QB commit. Henry Hasselbeck commits to Michigan State University.
Hen dog. You think that's gonna
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a nice nice ad, for that class. And the kid's coming with a big football IQ. His dad's multi-time Pro Bowler. He grew up around it. I think we, in the group chat there, we sent a picture when Henry was very little, running off the field when his dad Matt was playing for the Tennessee Titans. And that's a kid that's going to understand the game of football. He's an athletic kid. He has a lacrosse background as well, so his footwork's good. His hand-eye coordination is very good as well, and I think it's going to be a nice ad in the quarterback room. And this is a kid that's coming in with a lot of that knowledge that he's going to have from a very high level.
Without question, the kid was born in the locker room. As you said, there's some pictures of him coming off the field when he was with the Tennessee Titans. Look, this says a lot about Mel Tucker. When you ask, if you think about this, you have a guy in Matt Hasselbeck. It was an longtime NFL quarterback and a longtime analyst of ESPN until as of late when ESPN has made the moves that they've made in letting a lot of people go. And he made this decision on the same day his father was let go at ESPN to come in to commit to Michigan State. But when you talk about a father who has that pedigree, who has vetted a lot of coaches, and to be able to pass that test, if you will, and to then allow his own son to be in the hands of Mel Tucker, that sends a message to me, to all recruits, like, hey, this guy knows the game of football. If it doesn't do anything else, it sends a great, clear message to me that Mel Tucker is where he needs to be in acquiring families like this. We've talked about it before. You have to recruit families, and being able to get Matt and his son, and when they had their official visit, remember, they went back home and got mom and brought her to East Lansing to say, hey, mom, look at this. Like, we want to make sure what we saw was real. And obviously it was, in getting the commitment of young Henry Hasselbeck here. And I can't say enough about what that means to this class and beyond when you talk about bringing in a family of that caliber to the Spartan Nation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stray. And one of the biggest things, and you took it before I was going to get the opportunity to say it, and it's a big point there that Coach Tucker's doing. And you're going through it, your family's going through it now, and the importance of recruiting the entire family, to the organization and to the program. And that's what Coach Tucker and his staff are doing, is taking that time and recruiting the entire family. Henry and his dad, Matt, they went after the visit, like you said, went back and, kept talking about it, was jubilant about it. And, the mom had to come and see for herself. And that's what you see with, all these different recruits that's coming in. You go back to when we had the video of Nick Marsh and his family dancing on the field there. It's a family affair. It's a family thing. And that's what you're going to get here in East Lansing. And so that's something that, these coaches and everything, they have to realize. You have to recruit the entire family. It's not just about that one player, but it's that entire family that you have to recruit.
No, you absolutely have to recruit the entire family. And those who do that will be champions, in my opinion. And Michigan State's doing a phenomenal job of that. When we talk about, for a second, we have to discuss the changes that happen over at ESPN and what that means. When we look at the nostalgia of Sports Center in my demographic, like, that was something that we grew up with. There has been a shift in the millennials and the Gen Zs now, that they don't necessarily like that network television format where ESPN had the monopoly on all the information. Now, with the advent of things like Twitter, Instagram, and all, and the service right here, YouTube, and shows like this, podcasts where we're more interactive, you, the viewer, can talk directly to us and we'll respond right on the air. That's not something that was available before, but it's growing right now. And you're starting to see the shift overall where the money is going and it's going away from the networks, and you're seeing shows like this really take off. Chew, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you're 100% right. Before, you have the nostalgia of Sports Center. Before, you didn't have access to all the games. You couldn't watch it. So if you heard about a clip or something happened, someone, scored 50 points, you had to sit and wait for the 6 o'clock or, Sports Center to come on so you could get a glimpse of it. Or, you wake up the next morning. I remember, getting ready for school with Sports Center on in the background just to catch up on all the sport news that happened overnight. But now things have changed, like you said. You talked about people are going from the networks and going to more streaming platforms, streaming based entertainment, with their podcasts, with YouTube, Twitch, all these different things. And that's something that's really cool because it's really empowering the fans to be more interactive. What they want, their voices are being heard, and so that is the big thing that's happening now. And we can't, you talked about it, Stray, you mentioned it. Our viewers on This is Sparta MSU can put a comment during the live show, and we can comment on that. We can have a conversation back and forth. You can't do that with Sports Center. You can't do that with these other networks and everything like that. Everything's so censored and so capped and everything like that. So that is the big thing. There's changes is happening. It's sad that all those people lost their jobs and everything, but I'm sure with their career and their pedigrees, they're going to figure out things, especially like we talked about with the way technology is, with the platforms that's out there. They're going to start picking up their own shows and garnering sponsorships and everything like that. Don't take all our sponsors now.
Right. Right. Bring some to us. Right? We don't mind collaboration, but don't right. Yeah, definitely a shift happening all over. We talk a lot about the NIL and transfer portal and what happened during COVID. There's a huge shift happening again in sports, and this is another medium. The media medium is shifting as well. So, look. The good news is we're all along for the ride. Just being aware of the journey while we're in it. It's not going to be worse, I don't think. I think it's going to be better. This is something that the open market fuels is for competition and may the best.
Well, it's listening to the viewers, right? Listening to the viewers. That's what it is. It's listening to the viewers. You don't have that sole control. And I already know right now, talking about this, in our chat, everyone's talking about how bad ESPN is, and everything like that, because Michigan State ESPN don't have the best love relationship.
They don't have the best relationship, though.
So I already get it, but at the end we're talking about the different platforms and everything that's out there.
Right, not just ESPN. But what I want to talk about, since we're an interactive show, Chew, why don't everybody tell us what their top 4 for the 4th of July? We're going to do the top 4 Spartan football moments since 2000. So it's not gonna. My career wasn't there. So you guys are on. So since 2000, what are the top 4 Spartan football moments? Drop it in the chat. Let us know what you think, and we're gonna let you know what we think after this message from our friends over at IHOP.
When you're smiling. iHoppy Hour, starting at $6 at 3 p.m. Only from IHOP. Download the app and join the rewards program today.
Pancakes dropping. Top 4 moments in Spartan football history since 2000. That's the caveat.
Just so this is our opinion, guys. Don't be getting mad at us, sending us hate mail and everything like that. Don't be mad at Chew.
It's not just Chew. Stray had something to do with it. Otis, he's doing some family business, but he was involved in this too. We're gonna throw him in there. Look, at number 4, Smoker to Duckett touchdown versus U of M back in 2001. The 4th top moment in Spartan football history since 2000.
Clock gate. And this is the crazy thing is this is one of the moments that I really wanted to go to Michigan State for games like this. And I saw that game. I saw, transpire and everything, and it just heard. And then there's a bunch of different clips, you listen to, and you could hear the Michigan radio guys talking about it and, saying how unfair it is and blah, blah, blah. And, Michigan, they don't complain about anything. Yeah. But, but it was just something cool, a cool moment. And then coming into school and, being a Spartan and, talking to some of those guys that were on the team at that time, when guys came back, was like, what was that moment like when you, when that play happened and, they talk about the dog pile, how people were under, couldn't breathe because, they were just being smothered by their teammates and everything like that, great moment. And it's moments like those is why you choose to come to Michigan State, so you can be part of those moments.
Oh, without question. That was one of those epic plays, epic moments in time. It'll never die in Spartan football history.
Shout out to Spartan Bob.
Yeah.
Legend has it he's never paid for a drink in East Lansing since.
Right. There's a lot of guys on this list that probably shouldn't have to pay for a dinner or drink in forever. But definitely a huge night. I remember being in East Lansing there. I think I had my ankle surgery, and it was, when you talk about epic nights in East Lansing, that was it. I think producer Tony G was in town that time too. He was 18 years old and having the time of his life. Look, there's a lot of people who can remember back to these times when they can remember the party that ensued, and it kind of just is etched in your mind forever. It was one of those nights. Some of the parties that we can't describe what happened, that's okay. It was a great win for Michigan State. And if it's being against Michigan, it makes it even sweeter. So some people may have that a little higher than 4, probably according to the chat here. But in at number 3, this is a play versus Notre Dame. Little Giants comes in at number 3. Big touchdown to win it. Walk-off touchdown against Notre Dame back in 2010.
Talk about big cojones by Coach Antonio on this. And, and I love it because you don't trust kickers. So you put the ball in your punter's hands and throw the ball. Have your punter throw the ball to your tight end, Charlie Gant. And let's get out of here. Let's not put the ball in the hands of let's not put the game in the hands of a kicker. Let's get this thing going. Put the ball in your punter to your tight end and see you at Rick's. STR, straight to Rick's.
STR, right? That northeast end zone, that famous corner, northeast end zone where a lot of big-time plays have happened in Michigan State history, but that was none bigger than that right there. Actually knocked off one of the plays that people may have going on here that did not make the cut. So this is the only cut that I see that made that northeast touchdown, that northeast end zone at Spartan Stadium. Is the only one that made it. Little Giants, big time play. And if you can recall, this is the play that afterwards we find out that Coach D'Antonio had a heart attack.
Yes.
Missed a few games after this. So this was a big moment. A scary moment. I remember getting the call from Will Tiemann, who ran the broadcast network, still is with us, about the game last night, and that we got bad news. Coach D'Antonio had a heart attack. Everybody was panicked, but turned out he was okay.
As well.
Yeah.
But the thing about this, Trey, and we have to get confirmation. So we have to get Livion on the show and Charlie Gant. I think the play was originally designed to go to Livion Bell.
Yes.
He got tripped up and fell, and then Charlie peeled off there. So so that play wasn't designed for, Charlie Gant. It was designed for Le'Veon Bell. And once again, if that was the kicker throwing, he would have panicked, threw that ball, threw a pick six, just kind of, we had, Aaron Bates, had that and threw that ball.
Oh, what the famous part of that, my favorite part was the meeting of the coaches at the center field, right? And at the 50, Coach D'Antonio meets with Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly, you can see he asked him, "Did you call that?" Antonio looks at him like, of course I called it.
Yeah.
Walked away.
That's one of those you just have to tip your hat. You just have to tip your hat because that's a ballsy call at a moment like that. And, shout out to everyone for executing, staying calm, because you work on these plays in practice, and when it's called, you get a little juiced up, and you have to stay the course, as Coach D would always say.
Yes, you sure do. That's a big time play right there, and for the play to be made by a tight end from Brother Rice, Charlie Gant, put his hand up there. He's free. I remember Jim Miller was on the call. I was sideline reporting at that time, just like you, Chew. And then he's got him. I'm like, he's got him. Who's got him? I heard Jim saw it. So he's one of the, I'm not the only guy that sees things and talks over George. Sorry about that. But he did that. And it was a big time play. In at number 2.
Speaking of talking over George.
The top 4 moments in Spartan football history since 2000. The Drive versus Iowa in the Big Ten championship game in 2015 down in Indianapolis. 22 play. It was like a 30-minute drive. It was a crazy drive.
22 plays, 82 yards.
Oh, you don't get more championship than that. As an old lineman and a running back, let's talk about that one, Chew.
Yeah, that is something that you live for, as an offensive player. You talked about that. Offensive lineman, you're juiced and ready to go. And once you get those first couple plays, because LJ Scott, he took him down there, but the O-line was blocking tremendously. The run game was opening up. So you have a feeling, you're feeling it now. You feel like there's nothing that can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is yourself and self-inflicted wounds. But and what a great play, and what a way to cap it off with that and you're taught as a back. Never, the only time you reach that ball over the goal line is on 4th down, or if it's the last play of the game. And what a time that LJ Scott had he had the whereabout to reach, pull it back, and then reach it back out there. And really cool, really, really cool to see.
Oh man, guys like Jack Conklin, Jack Allen, Tyler Higbee, Donovan Clark. You had some guys on that offensive line, man, making play after play after play, marching down the field to win that close game. That was a close game. And obviously that last, Zorro Olay move by LJ Scott at the end zone, avoiding like 4 or 5 tacklers from Iowa, right, put it up there. That's why, for offensive guys like us, it's number 2 top 4 moments in Spartan football history since 2000. Now it's time for number 1. It's happy 4th of July. This is the number 1, guys. And there's no way this would be versus anyone but Michigan. So if we're going to take that theme into play, then we know it's going to be trouble with the snap versus U of M 2015, the same year, but in the big house in Ann Arbor, school down the road.
Yeah, everything just culminated to, that drive. What a season there. But this is a play that I remember specifically. We're sitting, I'm sitting at home in New York, and we're in a group chat with a bunch of, former players. We're like, damn, man, this game, it's over. We're going to have to, walk the alleys for a year till we can bounce back next year. And all of a sudden, it just comes out, it's the bobble snap, and all game long, that punter, had that rugby style punt there instead of just taking it. And it was just really crazy, and really just a crazy mix of emotion that went through me, not even in the stadium. I can only imagine from your seat, Stray, where you were when this was happening.
Yeah, I can remember it vividly. You're looking at it saying, okay, is there any possibility for us to get this ball back and put ourselves in position to score? You're thinking one way, and the team is doing so well. You're not trying to consider losing, but as a broadcaster, you got to keep your emotions in check a little bit, right? You want, even though we're with the home team here, and you're like, okay, the possibility of losing is real now. I remember thinking about that. I'm just like, okay, well, what can we do to get in position, maybe throw a Hail Mary to score a touchdown? And as the snap, like George is setting the play, And I remember him saying, "There's no one back deep." And I'm like, "Well," when I look back, there is no one. I'm like, "Okay, we're selling out here." I knew there was a sellout coming as far as going after the block. And that bobble happened. The rest is history. We know, I went crazy. Everybody in the booth went crazy. George is like, "Jalen, Watts, Jackson." He's and you talk about a guy who doesn't need to pay for anything in East Lansing forever. It's Jalen Watts Jackson. That was a play that will go down in history. Probably the best play in college football history, in my opinion, ever. It's up there. It's one of those ever plays, just like the Cal band, rushing the field play that they had back in the late 70s, early 80s. This is up at that level where it flips, where you just don't expect it to flip at the last moment. And, we know consequentially Jalen Watts did break a hip in that play in the tackle and ensuing celebration. So the tackle that happened, Jake Butt from Michigan tackles him and he landed just right, almost a Bo Jackson type of a hip injury. But nonetheless, he still scored. I mean, he got across that goal line. I couldn't believe it, Chew.
Yeah, when he was running, I was like, okay, I'm looking at the clock. I was like, okay, get out of bounds. We can kick a field goal.
Yeah, right.
Or if you're going to go. Just commit and go. And, it's just, really crazy. And I'm trying to think if at first we had someone back and then was there a timeout and then we just brought everyone up, or did we just have everyone up and there was no timeout called or anything?
No timeout called. Everybody was up. Nobody's deep. I mean, it was just, we had 11 guys on the line and Michigan had 2 gunners still. That was the mistake. Michigan's punt team had gunners running down the field after no one. So, in hindsight, they probably should have called a timeout themselves and brought in more protection. I'm sure the poor punter, man, he saw that and was like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm just an Aussie rules kicker here.
He's supposed to. So as you, there's because I was a personal protector on that. And that's the responsibility of the personal protector. You look at how many's on the line. You say, if it's 8 up, and there's 4 on one side, 3, load right and rip. Rip means you're telling the center to go to the right-hand side, and you're going to fill in on the left-hand side. Everybody on the line has a guy. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the outside in. So that personal protector needs to look up and see how many's in the box. And if there's nobody out there, if there's not a gunner and he's just an extra person, he's supposed to call that gunner in to be an extra blocker there. So that's also on the gunner as well. On the personal protector for not bringing in his gunners, because those guys are out there until the gunner
personal protector calls them.
Until the personal protector calls them in. So that's all that goes into it there. The moment got a little too big for them. So that's
get a little too big. It's down your leg. That's what happened. Man, it did get too big. That's so the personal protector. That's like the quarterback, the guy that's in between the.
He's the one that's making the calls. He's like 8 up, load right, rip, ready, and then after he says ready, at any time after that, the center can snap the ball, and then he steps up and goes the opposite. As if he says rip, the center's going to the right, he's going to the left. If he says Liz, the center's going to the left, and the personal protector's going to the right. And you do your count from the outside in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you tell how many's in the box. If it's 8 in the box and it's 4 and 4, 8 up, even, then you go. If there's more than one, if there's 5 on the right, 3 on the left, 8 up, load right, rip, ready, and then you go about your business.
So you're getting the breakdown here from, this is a lot of years of special teams play, offensive play. He understands this thing to a level. Rip, Liz, River, Lake, Ricky, Larry, those are all the right and left. That's it. That's what you're hearing, all that. R&L. It's not that complicated, people.
It's not.
There's not a whole lot of rocket scientists out there, although they are smart players out there on that field. That time, Coach D outsmarted the personal protector. Let's call it, for Michigan, and that's the number 1 play in Spartan history as far as we're concerned. I'm sure people agree on that. I see. for Spartan football history since 2000. Chew, look, I know it's the 4th of July. We don't want to be on here a long time. People to continue to celebrate and take the next few moments here to celebrate this Independence Day. Relax, rest, and get recharged for the next few days here in July, man. And we got a lot going on. We just really wanted to tell the Spartan faithful that we really appreciate them.
Hey, on Thursday, we got a nice guest coming in, Stray.
Got a QB? Who we got?
Yeah. We have Brian Hoyer, he's going to tell us the secret of playing 80 years in the league, because this guy still, from 2008 till now, he's still in the league with the Las Vegas Raiders now. He's going to be taking time out of his day on Thursday to join us and talk about his time at Michigan State, talk about his time in the NFL, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a good catch-up with Brian Hoyer, so looking forward to it.
Can't wait for that. He spent a lot of time with that guy from down the road named Brady too. So, he's learned he's got the notebook on how to be, how the longevity secrets for the NFL players. He's got it. He's played a long time. And that's an exciting interview. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be this Thursday at 8 p.m. For This is Sparta MSU. We got Brian Hoyer joining the show. Are very excited for that. Definitely want to thank everyone for joining us today. Get back to your families and enjoy the good barbecue, all those things that Choo and I have been enjoying all day as well. For Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick, I'm Jason Strayhorn. This is Sparta MSU. Have a good night. God bless you. And go green.
Go white.
This is Sparta MSU is a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Tony LaBarbera, Tony Gustella, and Process Driven Consulting. Additional support is provided by Brendan Duravage. On-location technical support provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our host Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta news, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.